Hi, I'm Jessica Taylor from Ink It Up with Jessica, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use the brush tip of your markers to do the thumping technique on your stamps. This can be done on a stamp with more detail. My favorite stamp for this technique was actually from a really old stamp set called Lovely as a Tree. Or you can use it on bolder stamps like these leaves, and you can see it just adds a little bit of extra color. You want to start by inking up your entire stamp. You can do that with an ink pad or with the brush tip of a marker. So if you're going to use a marker, you're just going to lay the brush tip across it to ink it up like that. If you have the correct color ink pad, I'm going to use Old Olive. Then it's a whole lot faster to just ink up the whole stamp with your ink pad. Once you have ink all over it, you can add more color with the brush tip of your markers. I like to use a couple different colors, and for this one I'm using Garden Green and Pretty Peacock. One side is a bullet end, the other side is the brush tip. You want to use the brush tip. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in. I usually like to go from the lightest color of ink to the darkest, but you're just going to hold your marker really lightly in your hand and you're going to thump it against your stamp. Now, before I show you exactly how to do that, I want to show you the first sample that I did with these leaves. So you see that my marker lines kind of go this way and you can see them more. When I made this card, I made sure that my marker kind of lined up with the center, that center vein of the leaves. So I kind of moved my marker around like this on the stamp to add the color that way. This is one of those techniques where your stamped image is going to look different every time, and that's kind of the fun of it. So just play around with this. So I'm going to go ahead and line my stamp kind of up with the vein of the leaf and just really loosely thump it to add some color. So again, you can add as much or as little as you want. So this is just a little bit darker green. And then we'll add some Pretty Peacock, which is more of a blue green. And you might want to just rotate your stamp so that your lines go every which way. That is totally fine too. Once you have all of your ink on your stamp, you're going to want to huff on it. So you're going to hold it right up to your mouth, not too close. You don't want to stamp your lips, but you want to hold it up close to your mouth and just give it, like, open your mouth wide and huff air onto it. That's going to re-moisten all the ink if it took you a while to get all those colors on there. And then you can go ahead and stamp it on your paper. So you can see that the colors on this leaf look even different than the colors on these leaves. Another thing you can do is, my Old Olive does look maybe a little bit darker. You can also ink up your stamp it off so that the ink that's left on your leaf is even lighter, and then add your different marker colors. So just kind of play around with it. I did clean off my leaf stamp in between every time that I re-inked it and stamped it. You don't have to do that. You could just keep adding ink to this. So it might get a little muddy, but you might love the effects of it. So just play around with it. If you would like to see how I used the thumping technique on a tree stamp many years ago, you're going to want to watch this video next. I hope that you give this fun technique a try. Thanks for watching.